Hello and welcome to Get Better, a show about two longtime friends trying their best, growing up, and hopefully getting better. I'm Zach Johnson.
And I'm Sam Cherry.
Hey, Sam, how are you doing?
I am good. Obviously,
Are
now
you
that we're
safe?
Are any of us safe, really?
Mm-hmm.
It seems that by becoming a contemporary podcast, we did conjure the end times.
We
It
did.
is the most contemporary it's ever been.
It could not be more contemporary.
Everything is happening, and it's all happening right now. I thought everything was already happening, but it's all suddenly happening right now. So we are, if you're wondering, audience, following the social distancing CDC guidelines of
By staying
135 miles apart.
Yes.
As the CDC recommends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sick. My wife is not sick.
I am also not sick, and no one I've
Great.
come in contact with is sick.
Not that it matters. You can't get corona through a podcast, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. It could be coming up through these wires and spraying out of my microphone into my open mouth.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're good. It's good here in Nashville. Everything's fine. It's not an emergency, and we're all doing good and are happy. I'm good. And I'm not stressed. And there was a tornado.
Yeah.
And
that tornado could not be any more of old news. That tornado is just like, what was that, 150 years ago? Get out of here, that tornado.
Yeah, so we're good. It's all good. Nothing's bad, and no one's stressed, and I feel good.
Okay.
How are you, Zach?
I
had ramen today.
Ooh.
I had we got local ramen. We got it from Secret Ramen Shop.
Okay.
2 episodes ago, I told everybody to chip in and help Nashville by
Eating ramen.
volunteering, and now I'm telling everybody to chip in and shop local. And if you get your advice about where to shop from this podcast, re-examine your whole life and priorities.
Yeah. I am doing well. I don't know exactly how things in Tennessee are, but
Bad.
okay, good. So the state of Kentucky, under our new and surprisingly competent leadership, something I'm not necessarily used to, has shut down most everything. So bars, restaurants, clubs, salons, gyms, like everything is kind of shut down. And like everything is kind of going on to a to-go model. The coffee shop I work at is a very to-go model sort of place now, where we have like tape on the floor that is like for people distancing themselves as far apart as they can.
Weird.
Or like, the CDC recommended 6 feet apart. 135 miles apart. So they have to wait outside of the door and then in Nashville, outside of Frothy Monkey. And it's...
But the people at Frothy Monkey are all in Louisville.
Yeah. So it's they've been coming in here and getting in line for Frothy Monkey. And I'm like, yeah, just like turn around. The line starts right directly behind me.
Crazy times.
Yeah. So, or 135 miles behind me because I'm also in line. So it has been odd, to say the least. It feels like last week we were so much younger, so much more starry-eyed. Yeah. And the world really came crashing down onto us. Last Wednesday was 150 years ago. And... all the news is happening all the time, but spirits are medium here. I wouldn't say they're high, that's for sure. But they're definitely medium. And on top of that, I didn't say this last week or the week before, but I am moving shop. I am going to a different house in the northern, but still around the northern office area. I'm just moving to a new storefront.
Cool.
I'm moving to a different area, and the reason why is because I kept giving such specific clues to where I live now that I got doxxed. So one of our fans, one of our competing podcasts came out and doxed me. They said exactly where I was.
Cowards.
They did it by just simply pointing out every single time I essentially said exactly where I live by the street name and also how many doors down I am from certain locations. So, now I have to move. That's good. I'm moving into a house with one of my friends that bought a house, and it's great because I have been given full creative control over the entire living area, which is great.
Wait. Is this the guy who we spent a whole episode making fun of his money idea?
Yes, it's him.
Don't show him this show, dude. You gotta stay in that house. Don't tell him about the show.
Yeah, no, it's him. He's really doing big things.
Uh-oh. You're getting evicted, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's me and one other. It's me, him, and one other guy. So it's gonna be me that gets evicted. But yeah, that's when he finds out about the show organically, whenever it's the top of the charts, and he is just like, wait a minute, don't I know that? And then that's it. And then it's like, well, I hope you enjoy your money, because I am not sponsored by that company.
And we won't ever.
And I will never talk about those free templates. I will not do it. I will not talk about their intuitive design and easy to navigate website design. I won't do it.
You're gonna get hold music.
I will not do it, Sam. I will not do it. So anyway, but yeah, so amidst the stress of all that, I have been able to socially distract myself by moving at the same time, which has been that's been fine. Moving kind of sucks, and it's just been like a sucky thing. But when inevitably, or not so inevitably, who's to say what happens? But when there is more serious measures, a thing that rhymes with Buttclown happens, then yeah. So
I was like, what? Oh, got it.
Yeah. So anyway,
when the Buttclown comes,
when the Buttclown enforces a shutdown, then I'll have a lot of time to get all moved in and settled. So I mean, it's kind of a win-loss-win for me.
I remember growing up and hearing the stories of the Buttclown, hearing about how he would sneak into your home at night and graffiti all over your walls, how he would leave little treats all over your bathroom floor, little candies.
Yeah.
Hide in your attic and whisper to you at night. The Buttclown is one of the most confusing, honestly.
That's so crazy because the Buttclown for me would just draw really crude like graffiti butts on my wall, but it was like it was like a butt in the way that it looked like if I were to write an E, or if I were to write like a W, if I were to write like a W, and I was just like, oh, is there like a W on my wall? And it's like, oh, the Buttclown broke in and he graffitied a butt onto my wall.
That's because you have German ancestry and we're Irish, so our folk tales were a little bit. But the Buttclown
is incredibly nationalistic. A little,
it's how folklore goes. It's how different. You've got your different. The stories change over the continent. In Finland, the Buttclown is completely different. It's I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It's a little racist.
It's 100%. I feel like they're one of those. They definitely channel a lot of the racism onto him, and I think they honestly use him just be like, whoa, who got into the politician's ear to say something super racist? It's like, it was probably the Buttclown. He did an Inception type situation. We know the Buttclown has that technology. He has done it before, and he has actually put out there that he will incept ideas in your brain that you cannot control to make you say something racist on national television.
Which is why if we ever say anything here that you disagree with, just know that it's the Buttclown.
It's the Buttclown.
So hopefully there isn't a Buttclown. The Buttclown does not cometh. To our particular offices.
So stay safe out there. And when we say stay safe in the future, we are not talking about any national crisis. We are talking, of course, about the Buttclown. That is stay.
It's a kind of national crisis.
It is a kind of national crisis, but it's a slower, more isolated one. And by isolated, I mean that the Buttclown only has the 2 or 3 followers left, and they can only make so many sacrifices. So the Buttclown can only visit a few people on a certain day, So
and if you squeeze lemon juice on your door frame, then it'll keep the Buttclown out for the night. And what do you do next night?
And exactly, but because the Buttclown doesn't come on certain days, the Buttclown doesn't like it's all random. Like, whatever,
It's totally random,
like solstices, Mercury in retrograde. I don't know. The Buttclown followers, they have their own calendar. I do not own a copy of the calendar. They will not let me buy it.
But what I know is that the Buttclown cometh.
Exactly.
I know that.
But it's like, I mean, like I've done the thing where I've put lemon over my door and on my doorknob and whatever, but it's
You gotta
just like,
ration it, though.
yeah, but it's like at a certain point, it's like, that's so many lemons. And like, for me, like he hasn't made me say anything like super racist.
Sure.
At least not recently.
Sure.
And like the worst case scenario for me recently has just been like, the W's on but I have to like paint over.
Sure.
But I'm moving into a new place. So like now the Buttclown's going to have to like do a ton of paperwork to find like my new address and like do a lot of
very
that.
litigious.
And I'm not saying, and I'm not giving any clues to where I live this time around.
You
so
will.
I accidentally will, because I saw, when I was driving from my new place, I saw a restaurant that I thought only existed in Nulu, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. I get to live next to blank restaurant again. That's so much fun. And I was like thinking, I was like, it's only
You're already
exactly.
doing it,
I was like,
You're
it's
already
like
doing
it's
it.
only a matter of time before I'm like, oh, so I was at the thing, and like when I say I was there, I mean like I took like literally like 4 steps from my house to get there.
Here are the directions from my house to this place. You remember, now this got cut, or I think the time between episodes ended up like solving this problem for us. But there was an episode, maybe I destroyed it, or maybe it just didn't, like, you put out an entire episode describing exactly what your car looked like and going in detail about how easy it is to break into your car and the way that someone could do it.
Yep.
And I think it was the Cougar.
No. It was the Suzuki Forenzone.
The Forenzone, yeah. And so then, but in between putting that episode out, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And when we recorded it, you like got a new car. But I just remember editing that episode like, buddy, you can't tell people how to rob you. Like, stop telling people how to rob you.
And if you can find that episode, I will say this. I don't think it is, because I was listening through them and I would have been like, oof.
Well, you'd already got a new car. I knew that.
But if you're looking to like, get a free ride and you happen to pass by a 2006 Suzuki Forenza, they are surprisingly easy to rob, surprisingly easy to steal.
Sure.
You would think that, like in the movies where you have to like pop off the under part of the dashboard. I don't know where the wires come out, and you like have to like snip wires and you like put them together. All you have to do is remove those wires, and then there is just simply a little button you can press to start the car, and that button is where the key goes in, and it's just like you could just push it. Like it's like a push to start car, and the key is there, I guess, for aesthetics only. And like they forgot to, at least maybe in my car, I don't know about the other ones, but in mine they definitely must have forgot to put in a key. Like my key was like fully cosmetic. Like I could have started my car with a toothpick, but I didn't know it until that person tried to steal it from me. But just like, I guess maybe they were like kind of like a Kraven the Hunter type situation where they were like, oh, this is like too easy,
What's Kraven the Hunter?
Kraven the Hunter is a Spider-Man villain, and he hunts Spider-Man because he's hunted all the other animals and he wants a challenge. So
I feel like is there something where like Venom comes from Kraven the Hunter or something?
No.
I don't know Spider-Man. I'm sorry. I can't.
Oh, it's fine. Kraven the Hunter is a really cool villain. All that having been said, he hunted Spider-Man because he is like, there's nothing else.
Oh.
There's nothing else fun for me to do.
Right. So, I see. So Kraven the Hunter saw your Suzuki friend.
Yeah, it was
too easy.
I think
leave it for somebody else.
Yeah. It was like, oh, this is like amateur hour. That, or it was like, it was the crew from Gone in 60 Seconds. But I don't mean like the characters. I mean like Nick Cage, Angelina Jolie, and like Cedric the Entertainer, who else was in that movie.
Sure. They're getting the team together. They're getting the team back together.
They're getting the team back together, and they saw it, and then, like one of them, Nicolas Cage, obviously, he had like a change of heart.
Obviously.
He was just like, oh, like, we can't be doing this. I can't do a Nicolas Cage impression.
Don't try it.
But I think he must have had a change of heart. Because the car was essentially robbed. It was just a matter of like pushing the button.
Because the thing is, Nick told him that they were getting back together for one last job, but in the end, he realized that if he had to sacrifice his family, for the, then what was it even worth? Because really, at the end of the day, it's all about family. So I'm glad Nicolas Cage movie star didn't steal your car.
Well, I think that
and I didn't tell everyone on our podcast how to steal your car.
That's true, but I just did just now. So
well, it's not your car anymore.
No. My current car
You're
is
not talking about your current car.
Unstealable. It is untheftable. No. I'll give people my exact address so that they can try to steal my car.
Don't, Zach. It's been one episode. It's one episode. You literally haven't even moved yet. Don't tell everyone where you live.
You're right. I don't even live there yet. I have boxes that live there. I have.
Don't just wait. Just don't tell everyone where you live, Zach.
Okay.
Please.
All right. But the house I'm going to move to has a dining room, which is really exciting for me.
Oh, fancy.
I know, exactly. Well, the dining room's like attached to the kitchen, but you went to my house whenever you got married, the day of your wedding. The kitchen that I have currently, but when this comes out, I will have had. It was the size. It was about a third of an elevator, and that was the size of my kitchen. That was pretty horrible. And I think I could really deal without that, and I could deal without all my plants dying because they're not getting enough sunlight.
Well, there were somehow no windows in the entire house. It was a very dark house, and also you were in a basement. Yeah,
I will miss my basement though. I will. We need to take a moment of silence because the place I'm going to is upstairs. No basement upstairs. Or no, there's no water. None of that's gonna happen. My room's not gonna get flooded. I don't have any fun things to say about that.
As we go on, we remember all the times we had together. What are the lyrics?
Yeah, and as our lives change from whatever, I will always remember the time my basement flooded and I had to move all my things up onto my bed. I think those are the original lyrics. I think.
Yeah, it was the start of this podcast. That's how we started. 3 years ago.
Oh man,
Zach has too much water. It was Columbus Day. You remember? It's the official birthday of the podcast.
No, that was Zach doesn't have any water.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. That was
Zach
the
went from
beginning of the
having
podcast
no water
was
to too much water.
Right. Regardless, the birthday of the podcast is Columbus Day. When you didn't have enough water, but then later you had far too much.
That's honestly,
water.
I think that's another good goal for the podcast moving forward. Is obviously we're gonna get millions of listeners by the end of 2020. Like that is like set. Because here's the thing.
Okay,
I mean, we really need to start hitting the advertising now. Because what else are people doing? They're quarantined.
What are they doing? Listening to podcast. Here's the thing. Every year, I'm
listening to the thing.
We get on the internet. And then everybody's like, Christopher Columbus, genocide. Didn't discover the continent. Bad. Yeah. Whatever, right? Okay. We can fix this. We'll make it Get Better Podcast Day.
Get Better Podcast Day and slash or.
Sure. Yes, and.
Mud God Day.
Well, so here's the thing. Here's the thing with the Mud God thing.
Okay.
I like that we're grifters. I like that we're trying to get our bag.
I do like that about us. I think that's our strongest quality.
And it's also true. I am always trying to get that bag. I feel like we need to expand outside of the God thing.
So you're saying that's going to be like a facet of the empire.
I'm saying
this is if we were to say it's almost like we're Zach and Sam. Yes. We're the hosts of the podcast. Yes. We're also the mud gods, but that's a different hat.
It's the it's like how Outcast, they got all the different names. They
you're thinking of the Wu-Tang Clan.
I'm thinking of the Wu-Tang Clan. I'm also thinking of that skit from the Outcast album that I can't remember, Stankonia, where they do the Dungeon Family roll call and they say all their nicknames. Whatever, it exists. Anyway, I'm saying, looking forward, I look, we got to get our bag. We got to figure it out. I'm thinking, do we really hitch our wagon to becoming gods, because that could be thorny for me.
Yeah.
So what if because eventually someone is going to ask us to make a blood sacrifice, and I'm prepared to do that, but I'm thinking what if we diversify this game?
That we're gonna make a blood sacrifice
Of them. Not us personally.
I'm not spilling any blood. I'm not into that at all. I'm very queasy.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe we diversify our bag a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Is we got to look at other angles. We got vitamin all. Good. I think in the first episode we did make some bit about some dumb startup we were going to start called Bucket, because you didn't have enough water. It's now occurring to me. I'm just saying we diversify a little bit. Maybe we don't have to be patreon.com/mudgods, because also we never made that, if you're wondering.
In case you have been wanting to donate in this trying time. If there is a time to donate to our non-existent Patreon, it's right now. This would be it. It is right the heck now.
I know you guys are always wanting to hear that segment of the podcast where we talk about the equipment that I always remember to cut out. But, if you do want to hear that, donate to our non-existent Patreon and help us get our bag. That'll be tier number 1. You get nothing, and that's what you deserve. Tier number 2, help us get our bag. So we're filling it out. We're working the system. But I'm just saying, let's diversify a little bit from being cult leaders.
I think because it's like, you can't just be a cult leader. Because like that, it's not going, that's like being a cult leader. That's not marketable. It's marketable for like the people we're trying to market to, but it's not marketable to the health junkies.
Yes.
It's not marketable to them. Is vitamin all insensitive now? Did we actually make an insensitive bit just because we like did not handle the situation well?
Well, forget that. Here's the thing. Vitamin all is still funny. Maybe it's funny, but it's also a joke. And like people die and that's sad, I guess. But it's sad. Okay. People dying of corona disease is sad, but also I don't think people come to this podcast for news, mostly because we don't talk about it. We talk about what TV we saw. So I don't really think this is the place where it's like, wow, I thought they were better than that. Did you? Did you think we were better than that? How about you take a chill pill? Take a vitamin all pill is what you should take. And, the thing is, we're trying to have some fun here. Life is very stressful, and we take an hour and we just kind of like tell some jokes and japes and have fun. So if you're offended by vitamin all, I don't know, dude. Get a hobby. I don't know. Or now I'm starting to see. You know me. I'm always worried about making people upset. You know how many bits I've cut because I'm like, but they'll be sad because I said that thing. So I don't know. The humor is falling away as I'm talking. I can see it falling in front of my face, but I'm pretty sure it's not insensitive. It's fine. Okay. You've ruined this for me.
Yeah. No.
I got 1 second. I can do this. What I'm saying is, it's obviously a joke. We don't think. Whatever. It's obviously a joke, and the gag is that we are grifters. Now I'm explaining the joke. Look what you've done to me. We're grifters. We're not actually. We're making fun of people. We can burn all this. We can burn it all. Okay. So my big wet boy, my favorite boy, Alex Jones.
He is a big wet boy.
He's a big sweaty boy. My favorite boy, Alex Jones, did just get in trouble for trying to sell toothpaste that he said could kill corona and SARS on site, which is pretty funny. I obviously hate Alex Jones as much as I love him. And so if you're wondering, wait, that's insensitive that they're making a joke about corona. We're not making a joke about corona. We're making fun of stupid grifters that come up with dumb plans on how to scam people. The people you should be mad at are the grifters. Now, granted, I think our audience is you, me, and for some reason our fans in California.
Yeah, we're really holding them together.
Boy, they love us down in Cali. So I think they get it, but we're not being insensitive, except for two grifters, which honestly, fuck them. It's fine. It's fine. That's my official stance on it. The main thing is I do want to talk about Castlevania.
Okay.
Or maybe we can keep
Castlevania. Where did that
Zibbin
come
and
from?
Zabbin. Anyway, I do want to talk about Castlevania and its relationship to Christianity, and I thought it would be weird if also I talked all the time about how I was a fake god. Is the main thing.
Yeah.
Although, again, we are making fun of cult leaders for being lunatics, is the joke. I just explained a joke.
I didn't. I was so ready to move past it, but I mean, we're here now. We're in it.
We're in the sad zone. It's an animated television show about vampires and somehow the video game Castlevania. Have you seen it?
I know it exists, and I know that Castlevania exists solely because I had it on the Game Boy, and I never played it because I thought it was about vampires, and vampires scared me at the time. And by
They're
at the time,
spooky.
I mean like right now.
Have you seen
Okay,
Sabrina?
I have a thing to say about vampires really quick.
It's great because honestly, I think my thing would not be funny. So go ahead.
I have a thing to say about vampires really quick.
Tell me your thing about vampires.
I got into a tiff the other day about, okay, so how do you kill a vampire?
Love. No. Shit.
Not shit or love.
The sun.
The sun is one of them, but like you can't call the sun.
Well, you don't know me. A stake to the heart.
Yes, a wooden stake to the heart. That's exactly right. And how do you kill a werewolf?
Oh, a silver bullet.
Silver bullet, exactly right. Guess what? Apparently, according to whatever article I was debunked with, those are interchangeable. You can kill a werewolf with a stake to the heart because obviously you can kill a werewolf with a stake to the heart if you can get a stake into a werewolf's heart. But you can also kill a vampire with silver bullets.
I thought you were gonna say that is also how you kill anyone. It's a silver bullet because that is true.
I was talking to someone about like how one of the like a grifter sort of thing to do is to start selling silver because they think people in times of crisis they'll think that silver has like healing properties. I don't know what the origin of this is. I did not look it up. I had a lot of time but I did not.
And magnets. Magnets are a real.
Magnets.
We should come back to magnets and crystals and silver. I think this is a good.
I really think the crystal market has been cornered. I really feel like we cannot possibly make it into the crystal market. I
did do an episode of The
I would have to
Simpsons
start buying crystals from people that sell crystals and then like flip those crystals.
You're gonna get an MLM for crystals. They did an episode of The Simpsons where Marge sold crystals, and I feel like that means it's past.
Yeah. And also I feel like I spent most of my childhood finding like round rocks and then breaking them to see if it was a geode. It was never a geode. But I feel like even if I did that, even if I like cracked open a rock to reveal it was like had crystals in the middle of it, I would be like, oh, this helps for headaches. People would be like, this is a geode.
Yeah, but you'd have to change your whole vibe. You'd have to get
I'd have to like wear a bunch of stuff.
You'd have to braid your beard. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now that I'm saying it, that's a strong look. Maybe
it's a strong look, but it is like it's a strong look, but it's one that like you have to attach an attitude with as well.
Would you
like
change?
I would have to have like a storefront that's basically a closet, and I would just have like a table outside of it, and it would say like tarot card readings $5. And it's like I'm already not trying to get too invested in that. I'm just trying to move these geodes that I found.
Sure.
And I'm not trying to do tarot card readings because I feel like it's only a matter of time before I get like punked by the tarot card reading community.
Yeah.
And they put me on YouTube as like they film me
stealing
like,
valor.
Yeah. Yes,
You'd be stealing tarot card valor.
It would be the exact whatever equivalent they have of stealing valor. But in the tarot card community, and I would get I would get shunned by a community that I can only assume they're shunning me right now because they don't deal with me.
I mean, or alternatively, you could be really good at it and summon some, dark forces.
Exactly, and I don't want to heck around with that.
I don't think you want to do. I don't think you want to fuck up and make a ghost. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, because then like the ghost would be like. I feel like the ghost would like I'm avoiding it for one, like I don't want to release that onto humanity because like I feel like if like, you know, people are like, whoa, I saw like a shadow in the hallway. And I feel like if they saw a real talking like ghost, they would shit their pants. Like it would be
they would die. I mean, I would die immediately.
It would be all too much. It would be like
I'm pretty sure I saw a ghost and I'm still fucking freaked out about it. It's
exactly.
Been like
but if you saw like,
we don't talk about it for that exact reason.
If you saw like one, like, you know, walking and talking and chewing bubble gum and like wearing an old suit or whatever, people would like absolutely lose their minds. Yeah. So I don't want that to happen, but also I don't want to get into like the awkward conversation of like the ghost having like expectancy from me, you know?
You don't like, you don't want to get a Slimer on your hands.
No, well, like it would like show up and be like, oh, like, yes, like we are now ready. And I'll go, no, I don't know why you're here. I don't even know who you are, man. Yeah. I just like, and I'd like kind of look around and go, I just work here. Like, I don't like,
you maybe like bring forth a dark apocalypse.
Yeah,
and you're like, I can't do
you
any
might
want
to talk to like you, like, I'm not the guy. Like I know I might have like accidentally said like Patronum when I should have said like Alakazar, right? But I did not mean like I did not want this.
You're and looking,
and then the ghost would be like, oh, so like who do I get in contact with? I'd be like, oh, I don't know. I was just trying to move these geodes.
You're looking for like a Voldemort. I'm more of like a Halloween Town. Like I'm not really going to be able to do the shit you need.
Yeah, and I'm like good Halloween Town. I'm not even like Calabar level. Like I can't. I'm not going to turn anyone into their Halloween costumes. That's not really my bag.
I'm the brother.
Yeah, but in the off chance, do you talking to the ghost?
I got it. I understand.
I would be like, do you think that I could use you to get my bag? Like I could use you to get
my bag though.
I could use you to get absolutely paid. And the ghost would be like, where we are going, there is no need for currency. And it's like, that sounds like you're gonna destroy the world. And I'm gonna be like your right hand dude. And I'm like totally not for that unless like the plane of existence you're going to take us to has some sick ass Lamborghinis. That's the only thing that I'm really down for. And if I'm riding like a ghost carriage with like ghost horses that are like skeletons and like a, you know, headless jack-o'-lantern looking dude, I'm not for that. Like I want to get like a Lamborghini with the suicide doors.
Here's the thing.
I want to be like me and famous rapper / falling out rapper DaBaby. I want me and him to be like riding around.
That ghost is in peasant mindset, and he needs to be in grind mindset. He needs to be ready to grind. He needs to get his bag. He needs to post on Instagram every day. That's what he needs to do. He needs to focus on his
interaction up, like asking questions in the comments, like, hey, like what are you doing like to like, you know, like to like, you know, getting audience interaction
up, right? Totally.
And like like just liking the comments, not really reading them. And
I don't have time for that. I have so many comments.
Exactly.
Here's the thing, they say don't buy followers, but that shit works. All right, it works.
Exactly.
Buy likes, buy followers. These
for real, because like
get up on this.
It is the exact same thing as like back in the old Instagram days when you would go from like remember back in the old days when someone would like a post, it was their name was on it. So it was like their name and then you'd have to get up to 11. And when you got up to 11, it would say 11 likes.
Yeah.
Before then, the first 10 was just like, it was like the Declaration of Independence. People were signing off on your post. Right. And it's so easy to have like, back then at least, it was so easy to have like, you wanted anonymity. You wanted to like, oh, I'll sign off on this, but I'm not going to be 8. That's for damn sure. Like I'm going to be 17. I might even be 43. Right. Like, but I am not going to be the one that just likes this blindly and it turns out you were doing blackface. Like I do not need that energy.
As much as I really like this this very sharpened sunset, I just can't be number 8 on that. I don't number 8 like it. I might number 12 like your very sharpened sunset, but I don't number 8 like it.
That says
I got a
that
brand.
Yeah, that says missing this, take me back. Like, you know,
right.
Like,
so that's what I'm saying is fuck
Buy-
11.
yeah.
Buy the first 150. Just buy them. It works. Also, separately, I am selling likes and followers. So if you want to hit me up, I will get you 150 easy. It's no problem. Just Venmo me, Cash App, Apple Pay. I will get you 150 followers, no problem. Parody? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on a podcast. But I will do that.
How much do you think you would want to get paid for a like?
I do only take money in denarii. So I only take Iraqi denarii because I think it's going to get revalued, and that's how I'm going to get my bag. So it's 800 denarii. It's 800
denarii for a like?
It's 800 denarii. Their currency
dreaming.
Their currency is really unvalued. The currency is really undervalued in Iraq. An Iraqi denarii is pretty cheap, I'm pretty sure.
Look it up. I'm going to put this bit on pause to talk about world economics.
So here's the thing. I started listening to a podcast about the war in Iraq. So I got denarii on the brain. But also another sphere of my life, there is a conspiracy theory that the president is going to revalue the denarii and make everybody a lot of money. So I do want to... Damn it, this is a Chapo bit again. Fuck, I fucked up and did Chapo. I was thinking of a podcast
on this segment of Fuck I Did Chapo.
Fuck I Did Chapo.
Here comes Sam with another global economics take.
No, it's fine. No,
where Sam has a suspicious amount of knowledge of.
Here's what happened. They put a different podcast in the feed. There's a new podcast called Blowback. This is not an ad, but it's about the war in Iraq, and it was in the Chapo feed, and I was listening to it, and they told a joke about... They didn't tell a joke. They were just talking about how the QAnon people think that Trump is going to revalue the denarii, so they're like buying up a bunch of denarii, which the funny bit being that if you revalued a currency, I guess, they issue new bills. Like they would give you a new 50 and the old 50s wouldn't work anymore because they revalued the currency. So these people are like buying denarii, but it's like, you understand if the thing that you think happens, then all your money will be worthless. Mm-hmm. They do not understand it. So I was thinking about that today.
Well, whippity wappity, Samuel. There's quite a lot of things that they don't understand.
Well, yeah, I know. They're QAnon people. I mean, they're right about a lot is my official stance. Yeah. Parody.
Because honestly, at this point in time, we do not know anything about our listeners in California. So
that's true. They might
everything's on the table. I don't want to say any stance that will put me on either side of any fence. Yeah. I will give my opinions, but at the end of that opinion, I'll say, and the other thing too. I'll just be QAnon people are maniacs, and their constant language to create divisive a nature amongst us is going to tear this country apart in a way that is just feeding into conspiracy theories. And they're also right. The other thing too.
And they're also right. I also don't remember if Big Wet Boy is from Chapo. I am just an amalgamation of the media that I consumed last, if that's not clear to everyone.
Yeah. It's like when you're on... It's like when you are on Instagram and you see a post that says something like your gangster name is the shirt you're wearing plus whatever, and it's Sam's opinion is an amalgamation of whatever podcast I listened to last.
It's Chapo plus the history of Rome plus the last opinion he heard.
With a sprinkle of bar trivia.
Yeah, exactly.
Set at preheat to 375. So the denarii is valued, not terribly competitively with the American dollar, but I don't know about that. Hold on, I'm gonna do math wrong for just a second.
Okay.
Yep, I did math wrong.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a second.
It is 3.22 of a dollar. So every dollar is $3.22 denarii. Wait, hold on.
Oh, so if one like was 800 Iraqi denarii, that would be $150.
So you said that your going price was 900 denarii.
Sure.
900 denarii is 2,900 American dollars.
Oh, it's the other way around.
It's the other way around, yes.
3 denarii.
No,
I'm sorry. So 30.
wait,
So point. No, that can't be right. The denarii is not worth more.
one denarii is worth $3 American.
That would mean it's more valuable.
You're right.
Okay. All right. Well,
listen, you're not arguing with me. You're arguing with Google.
That's fair. I'm not arguing with anybody. The other night I was at dinner and my wife said, This story isn't true. I don't remember how it came up, but I probably just brought it up. But anyway, she was asking, I was telling her about the History of Rome podcast, and I was explaining all of my thoughts about Diocletian.
Are you sure you want to go down this path, Sam?
Oh, I don't, and I'm not going to. Is this the path
that you want to go down?
No, I really don't.
From us goofing around about silver bullets, you want to go down this is the one?
I don't want to talk about Diocletian. But what I'm trying to explain is that I get locked into a subject or a media property, like listening to History of Rome, and it does fully consume my brain until it's finished. It's all I can think about is Rome and Chapo, because those are the two things I'm listening to. Here's what else makes me worried is I started listening to Chapo Trap House because another podcast started talking about it a bunch. And then I stopped listening to that first podcast. So I'm afraid that I'm going to filter off any listeners we have.
Yeah, it's big fish. It's like big fish eats a littler fish.
But yeah, it's like don't mention a better. It's like in movies where they mention a better movie. But we're not
I don't think this gets into I don't think that we're attacking the same market. And if we are attacking the same market, then guess what? We have another market we're also doing. We're diversifying. We're diversifying our markets.
Diversify your bonds.
Exactly. Pretty soon, all of this is going to balloon out into, there's going to be the Mud God, not necessarily a podcast, but it's going to probably be on public access television, where it's just going to be different variations of the scriptures that we have written over the course of a long weekend.
See, that's the part I hate, but okay. And but here's the thing. It's a public access show, but every week it's different people. Same names. Zach and Sam, different people in those roles, and we never fucking address it.
Okay,
never address, and they're just like,
that's good. That's good.
I thought it was something, but they'll only look slightly different. We'll get a gradient, a lineup from me to you. What if we did that? We get 100. All right, you put you and me on the end of a line. You put 98 people in between, 98 white dudes in between us, and they just go on a gradient from looking. It starts with me, and then someone that looks, identical to me. And then someone that looks just 1% more like you. And we have this gradient where right in the middle, it's the mix between you and me. And then you keep going, and then they start looking more and more like you. Do you see where I'm going here?
Yeah, I do see where you're going.
We just switch those people out, where every week, because you watch last week, and you're like, yo, that's the guy from last week. And then you watch the next week and you're like, yeah. And then a couple weeks go by and every time it's just 1% different. And it's these. And then by the end you get to number 50 and 51 because you're going from the outside in. You get to 50 and 51 and you're like, those dudes look identical. These over 50 weeks, these two dudes have become the same person, but they're completely different people. And we never address it.
Yeah. Now, so you just added a really interesting caveat to this Mud God sort of lore that we are building.
Okay.
Because we haven't built the lore yet. We have the future is our lore. You just introduced an idea that while actively pursuing people to give us all their money, we can only get people that look like 1% variants of us.
No. They're us. What I'm saying is we run a cult where we keep switching out who is Zach and who is Sam with a different person that looks identical. So every day,
so we would also need to be finding people that look exactly like us.
Yeah.
This is a huge casting. Yeah,
we're gonna have a lot of followers. We can find 98 white dudes that look like us. We'll be fine. I've got the same haircut as every white dude in America, so I'm pretty sure I can find other white dudes that look like me.
Okay, and I just need to find someone with a mustache and a denim jacket, and I really feel like that's kind of moving in the area.
Yeah. You're fine. So here's what I'm saying. Imagine, all right.
But then we need to find someone that looks like them. 50% you, 50% me.
two of them because we need number 50 and 51 in there.
50 and 51, and they are like
identical twins that also look like the mix of you and me.
Somehow like okay. So they are identical twins.
Yes.
Now we're entering into prophecy territory.
Okay. Yeah, they're the chosen ones. Yes, exactly.
They are the chosen ones, and we're talking about them right now, but they have already been born, and they are already 26 or 27.
Yes.
Like, they were born around the same time as us, and they look like... They don't look exactly like us. They look like 50% you and 50% me. And their names, whatever their names are, those names will be stripped.
Yes.
And their names will be 51 and 52.
Right.
Or whatever you just said.
But they will know that it's Zach. They will be known as Zach and Sam.
Yes. But they will have like... Yeah, they'll have like a little like a tattoo or whatever that's just like N-O.
Right on the small of their back.
Yeah. Or, maybe in like, one of our other diversifying things, we also invented a time machine, and we went back and we grew these two, and we didn't give them names. So we just named them 51 and 52, and then we just made them watch Frasier and read Roman history and Second Temple Judaism, and then had them have a lot of opinions about The Simpsons, and then we shoved those two into the world.
Okay, Zach.
Yeah.
Step outside the bit for a second because, okay, all right, and immediately back in the bit. Okay. You are running a cult. Imagine you are running a cult.
Got it.
What you got to do is you've got to get people off balance. You've got to confuse them. You got to put a little LSD in their water, right? You got to kind of get them off kilter so that they need to be suggestible. Can you really imagine if there was a public access show where every single episode, it was people that looked almost identical, but weren't, right? So you go from you and me, that's 1 in 100.
Yeah.
And then you get, and then they get closer and closer and closer, and they meet in the middle. So imagine, it's like between two ferns. You got me, I'm sitting on the left, you on the right, and we're doing our bullshit or whatever on a public access show, right? We're recruiting followers. Every week, it's a different two hosts, but they just look a little bit like us. And then at some point, they don't look like us at all, but it's such a slow gradation, nobody notices. Then we get to 50 and 51, right? And then they switch chairs. And then we go the other direction.
Okay.
And then so everyone sits in one of the two. And then at the end, it's us again.
This is a, like, a what? Like a 100-day plan? Or is it 100 or 200? I don't know how many days. It's a 100-day plan to get everybody.
To go from us back to us, but we switch chairs, and I'm Zach Johnson and you're Sam Cherry. And we never address it.
Okay. But would we then go back the other way?
People, look, I don't know. Yeah, sure. I think that would, if anyone watched that, it would hypnotize them so completely that they would be willing to do anything. They would immediately give us all of their money, and it'd go full Fight Club. Just right away. Just like right away.
Yeah,
it would just every episode you're like, I think, but it's public access, so we don't have any tapes of it. No one can watch it, or no one can rewatch it. They just see the next episode and they're like, is that? And it's a week in advance, so they're just like, I don't know. It was a week ago. Is that what that guy looks like? I guess. I think it would be great.
That would be really, really great, and it would have this is entering into one like. This is either cult status or an improv everywhere bit where we have to do like a massive casting call to find all these people.
It would be like an Andy Kaufman style bit that no one is sure if it's funny, but they're pretty sure that it's art and they don't know why. It's Andy Kaufman reading The Great Gatsby front to back, where you're like, this is funny, but I don't know why it's funny, which is basically the tagline to our show. But just like there's this cult, and they keep very subtly changing what the leaders look like, but then also switching, and I'm not sure what to do about it. I think. Look, I'm gonna workshop this one.
This seems workshoppy as well as like you want to have a kind of a rapport with your
But it's the same two people. It's the
Okay.
same. We're Sam and Zach the whole way through. It's just never us. It's just always different people. So they come to know the token. They come to know the idea of Sam and Zach.
Oh, okay.
But they're
That's good.
never really sure who is Sam. Anyone could be Sam and Zach if they look like 27-year-old white dudes. Anyone, and they're just like, is this what do they look like? Like they would have no reference point what our face looked like, but they would be intimately familiar with what our face looks like at the same time.
Okay.
It's Schrodinger's face is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. I'm totally down for that.
This is what I think the next evolution. I know I said earlier to stop. We're not doing the cult, but actually I think I'm back in it on the cult. I think I'm back. Yeah. This public access show I think is where the cult needs to go.
Yeah. Do you want to do a last segment of the show? It's a brand new segment I just came up with.
Sure. What is it?
It's called Actually Getting Better, or the name of the show.
Oh, right. The reason we started a television show.
Yeah. And this is a thing we can do every once in a while where we talk about ways that we're trying to get better.
Sure. Okay, go for it.
So in the future, we'll be having maybe a lot of free time given the current situation. And so I was thinking... The Buttclown, and I was thinking, what are in the wake of the Buttclown, in the hiding and the preparing, we'll have a lot of extra time. And so, is there anything that you want to be working on to get better, if in the case that you come up with a lot of extra time?
Sure. I mean, you know me. I am a crazy person that is always working on stuff.
Yeah.
So and of course I'm an animator, which I'm sure I've mentioned on this show before.
Yes. Everyone get yourself over to Sam Cherry's Instagram, where he just posted a brand new. He just posted a brand new little animation he did. It is at Sam Cherry Animation, and it was posted today. And the day of this recording is March 18th. Get yourself over there and look at that, because it is super fantastic. Great work, Sam.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
So that's like in a rubber hose style. I have to get myself out of the bit and be a person again. So that's in like a rubber hose style, which I like and is fun. But I like animation, and I like kids animation. I do a lot of that kind of stuff for work and for clients and stuff. But I want to be able to diversify what I can do and what I do. So I'm right now, stuff that won't be seen for a long time, but I'm just kind of working on some other styles and working on not like adult animation like BoJack Horseman or anything, but just if you ever go on Motionographer, you can see there's a diversity of style, and I want to be able to kind of work in some other styles that are less cartoony. I love cartoons, but as a business, it's important for me to be able to do stuff that's more than just cartoons. Otherwise, I'm just going to be doing like, I don't know, like kids camps, which I like, and kids camps are fun. But, like a corporate client is going to want something that's animated, but not so kid related, like
and you can tell that by the way it's like drawn and the way that the characters move around, whether it's like for a kid or like it's like you can tell like either in realism in movements or like facial expressions, things like that.
Yeah, so if you look at studios like Oddfellows and Buck and Golden Wolf and IV, like they do cartoons. They don't do cartoons. They do animation, but it's a much more developed style. I don't really know how to describe it. It's not adult, but it's more but it's not for kids. It's not kid driven. And so, I want to do stuff like that. Like their stuff is all really good and I like it. And so I'm working on I did some frame by frame references all this week. I've just been like drawing some frame by frame animation. And then I'm working on building that and rigging that in After Effects. And hopefully can post it in the next week or two. But that's what I'm doing, is working on developing my style outside of just rubber hose kid style. What are you doing to improve yourself?
So I think I'll be going back into some old hobbies, but treating them with a little bit more seriousness. I want to get back into like writing and journaling and things like that. But also, I think a part of me living in this new house is like having the creative freedom to like do some interior design, which I'm super excited by. I'm like excited to, build some shelving units in my room because my room is smaller than what I have now. So I'm going to utilize the space upward instead of the space like outward, which I don't have as much of. And like, building shelves where I can put my books, my cameras, and kind of
cool.
like putting like a bit more constructive mindset in the area, as well as like just doing various house projects. And I feel like because I know like the landlord is my roommate, I
Right.
feel like I'll have a bit more creative freedom as well as just like the ability to treat this house as if it was my own. And I'll have a bit more like of the opportunity to have ownership of something, as well as just like honing in my skills for when I have my own house and I can like actually do like projects. So I think as the springtime rolls into cycle, I already asked him if I could have like an herb garden, which I'm super excited by.
Oh yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
And yeah, like herb garden and or just like a like flowers or things like that, and like just like basically picking up things my dad knows how to do, which I really appreciate. So yeah, I think just like various housing things. I think that the way I've lived my life so far is I don't really work with my hands that much, and that's something I kind of want to get into. And also, I don't know if I told you about this, but I bought a bass a while ago, and I need to get back. Yeah. I need to get back into practicing that.
Cool.
Yeah, so practicing like just basically doing things with my hands. I live really nearby a park, so spending more
Zach,
time like
you're doing it again.
But I didn't say what park. I didn't say.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. But I really live nearby a park, so just like kind of like the running path that I had before was I would run throughout the city, and I really did like that. But I think just like having like getting like. I think running in a park is like better because there's like hills and stuff, and I can work on actually, because I think like running in the city is you're running on a flat plane the entire time, and so your body is not like developing any extra stamina or like lung capacity. So yeah, I think just like in this new season of moving somewhere else, just like having a lot more creative freedom in what I can do interior design wise, as well as working my hands more. I think those are the things that I'm like the most excited about. If in the case that, things really go to hell in a handbasket, I will at least have some time to like hone in on some skills that I have been neglecting the most of my adult life.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you're at one Zach Johnson on Instagram. I realized that we plugged our stuff in like episode 13, and then that one did get disappeared.
Ooh.
It was also the one where Sophie was on. So if any of our audience is wondering why we went from me never mentioning my wife's name to always mentioning it, it's because she came on the episode one time. She popped in and did an interview, and she's like, okay, you can talk about me on the show.
Yeah, she plugged her pottery business, and she is
the Cherry Potter at
the Cherry Potter, and she just recently made some plates that look fantastic. And
she's really
messaged
good.
her. Yeah, I messaged her today, and I was like, I'll take 12.
We eat off them every night.
I may have to talk to you about this off air, but I'll have to ask how she got into like the specifics of how she got into pottery, because Carrie is looking to get into pottery, and I have like absolutely no idea how to facilitate that knowledge.
There's not a story to it. She just was looking for a hobby because she got a job and was working and was kind of like, oh man, I work all day. I wish I was doing not like I wish I was doing something else, but you know what I mean, like. I kind of need another outlet outside of work because the professional world is so different from college. And so she just said, hey, I think I want to start doing pottery. And then found a studio in town called the Clay Lady Studio and signed up for a class. And she's been taking classes for a year and a half, a year or two. And she just goes once a week and does and throws pottery. It's really nice. It's no pressure. She just you know what I mean? It's like a purely artistic. She has a skill that I don't, which is to have a purely artistic outlet. Like for me, everything has to like, and then how does this turn into money? Non-joking. It really, I am always just trying to get my bag. And she doesn't have that impulse where she's like, yeah, I'll just throw pottery and I like it. And it's like, oh, Cool. And she's very good at it. So yeah, I don't know.
But
I
then
would
how do
find
you
a
get that
studio.
bag?
How do you get that bag though? I know. But I think if Carrie's trying to get her bag, I would just find a studio in town that does classes and do it there. And
Okay. All right, and that is how you as an audience can get better.
yeah,
Wow, we
find
did
a
it.
class and do something.
Yeah, we did it. We challenged ourselves, and then we had audience engagement. That's how you get those numbers up, baby.
Yep, like those posts. All right.
All right.
See you bye forever.
See you. Bye forever.